Yeah, and it looks like we're ready to get into our final match here of HegsterTCCG Topic Tournament number 7 here of Series 2. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Good luck to both of these players here as we get into this match here. Looks like they're getting ready here. We've got Gabe Smart's perspective here. Going to be up against Jake Gearhart. Similar name, not quite here. Jake Gearhart here in the finals. Eternatus versus LUCMETAL.
Yeah, we've seen so we saw Jake implement a strategy. One of the things I really like about the LUCMETAL deck is the ability for it to kind of play a different game depending on the exact matchup and depending on the exact component cards in the opponent's deck list. Which, of course, this is an open deck list tournament, so we can it really allows players to play with their best knowledge. You might think of the LUCMETAL deck as a deck that can just kind of turn on the big GX and then be a little tanky, but again, we saw in that last game, the game plan was wildly different. The game plan was very much based around Zamazenta. It was based around weakness card energy. We saw that Jake was kind of playing a game where they were trying to get their opponents to engage first. So it's clear that both of these players know exactly what they're doing. They're playing. Looks like Jake's saying, let's hope this goes the same way as round 8. So these players must have played earlier in the tournament with
played
Jake
on
already
stream.
going up.
Yeah, they played on
Oh,
stream
okay.
round 8 actually, so it is a rematch. And this hand is not looking so good for Gabe here. He's going first, doesn't really have a lot of stuff he can do. I don't really know what he can even do here. What, play down the Sableye, attach to it, and pass his turn? Seems like the only thing I see.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the only option you have, just a pretty quick turn. With a Marnie for next turn, a boss for later down the line, but not what you want to see if you're the Eternatus deck. And this is really, I think, the format is shaping up. We've talked a lot tonight about I know a lot of people are clamoring for an ADP ban. I know that a lot of people think that the format is kind of boss's order is too powerful, but we are seeing a growth in the format. We are seeing things change, but I think one thing is really clear when you see opening hands like this. It's just that the Zacian decks are just really, really advantaged, right? Being able imagine a world in which Gabriel was playing his Zacian deck. They can Intrepid Sword there. That becomes a lot. That becomes a lot different. Your early turns just seem to matter so much to me in these formats. In this format, rather, and the power of Intrepid Sword cannot be understated. But it looks like the Marnie's actually going to bail Gabe out in a lot of ways here. This hand is much better.
Yeah, this is looking very solid right now, so we'll see what happens here with this.
So you have an energy committed on the Eternatus V. The Crobat comes down, refuels the hand. Hoopa hits the board. No way to move the Zigzagoon, so Gabe's just going to go ahead and pass it back. But now we're seeing much more of kind of the setup they want. We have the Eternatus at least. We have quick ball communication options, for the next turn for finding both maybe a VMAX and a Crobat, things like that. Over on the other side, Jake, Chaotic Swell is in play now. We're just seeing a Metal Goggles and an Intrepid Sword. So Jake playing a much slower game, does hit an energy after the Intrepid Sword there. So the Zacian will need no more resources committed to it.
It looks like we'll
And
see
Gabe,
PCOM throw some stuff back in. We'll be able to get VMAX out to increase his bench size a little bit here, and definitely will like that with a few search options he has in hand. Has a great ball hiding energy here. Looks like will be a little bit annoying to get Dark City in play, especially with Chaotic Swell. So gonna be a little bit of a stadium war here in this match rather than some of the mirrors we've seen before or other matches. So we'll see.
yeah, definitely. We do see that energy come down. The other Eternatus is getting put in the discard pile. This is going to fuel a big Crobat, and then the dream here would be to be able to boss knock out the Zacian, but it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. No way to move this Zigzagoon. We still need to fill our bench quite a bit. It looks like Gabe is thinking about what they want to do here. It is rough to play the research and get rid of those resources. Get rid of this hand. But it's definitely close. You can see the agonizing decision. Looks like Gabe does decide to commit the research. That's seven new cards. They do have a Dark City now for next turn. Of course, the first one was eaten by the Chaotic Swell. They just have to pass the turn back. So both players taking a few turns, playing a little bit more slowly, not having maybe optimal aggressive setups, and are just kind of now fully set up. Looks like that Celebration is going to miss now, but not. Jake has a hand of a bunch of cards in hand, a bunch of resources available to him. So yeah, we are going to see the switch here. There's the energy. There's the energy. Looks like a weakness card on Zamazenta, and here's the boss's orders on the Sable IV. So taking, so we saw the energy committed to Sable IV early, taking a multi-prize knockout immediately, making use of this Brave Blade before it likely ultimately falls to this Dread End.
This is a very nice play here from Gabe. I like it a lot that he's going ahead, or my bad, from Jake here. Going after that Sable Eye is the main way that Gabe has to deal with this Zamazenta V. And with that gone now, I really struggle to see a way that Gabe really takes care of it, especially as he needs to find Dangerous Drill to even ping with Zigzagoon here. And he's got a lot of energy in hand, a lot of stuff here that I really don't like. That's kind of clogging it up right now that he doesn't really want to get rid of. Can get rid of something like the Eternatus if he chooses to in his hand, but he'll go ahead and ping the active. Could play a little bit more passive here if he chooses, but looks like a Dark Energy maybe hitting the discard pile. I think Eternatus hitting the discard pile is honestly a little bit better in my opinion, as you're not going to be using more, but actually opting to get rid of Boss here. Interesting grab here, and even just considering grabbing another Eternatus, interesting choice.
Yeah, so it looks like not valuing Boss too much, I guess, just kind of saying if I can get the knockout on this Zacian here, I won't. I want to get another Eternatus set up, but
I definitely like the attachment here more to the Hoopa, especially because, and it looks like he's actually eyeing that up here. And the reason I like this a lot more is because of that Zamazenta, right? It can come up here and get rid of that hiding Dark Energy on that Eternatus, meaning that he'll have to attach his energy for turn, even retreating and get out of the active here. So realizing that here, hitting for 210, so actually perfect math here to take out the Zacian. Nice awareness here on using that 6 ping on the active to not screw himself there. And then some nice prizes too, draws in the Crobat and research off the prizes.
Yeah, but I think this game's really going to come down to the ability for Gabriel to deal with this this Zamazenta, right? Jake, again, it's open deck list. It's IV has been taken care of. There are Hoopas, there are options, but Jake kind of knows what they need to play around, and it's currently just has a board of Zamazenta Lone Jirachi.
Yeah, we see Oranguru come down here. We'll go ahead and Private Wisdom. That's a pretty large hand size that Jake has here. We're not to be surprised if he has a Metal Saucer here, but it's actually going to scoop up that into the Oranguru here, so we'll probably see a Jirachi come back down and switch into it. Or just wants to get it off the field here. Another Zamazenta going down, and you know what they say, man, it's scamming time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Double Zamazenta on the board. There's a Marnie. Yeah, and I mean, Jake just kind of knows that the Zamazenta can go really far in this matchup. It looks like. Quick Ball gets rid of Mimikyu, finds the LUCMETAL. And giving up the Oranguru prize here doesn't really matter, I think, from Jake's perspective, because it's just about, you can let Gabriel go down, go to 3 prizes here, and then even if they deal with 1 Zamazenta, it's still they're still not winning the game here. Boss's order is a top deck from Gabriel. That doesn't actually really do anything.
Yeah, scamming will keep scamming here, so we could just see a Dread End. Could also go into Hoopa, but I don't really know if I agree with that here. It's actually going to go to Hoopa and start bossing this. I like this here. He wants to get aggressive, it looks like. Especially if you're going to go to Hoopa here. Yeah, it's going to go ahead. Go to Hoopa here. There's been no full metal wall, so we'll at least start to be able to swing for 90, but all Jake needs is a switching out or a way to retreat here, and this Hoopa's going to go down.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess this is kind of the best option you have if your Gabriel is just saying, okay, well, I know this Hoopa Zamazenta interaction is going to happen eventually. I'm going to try to kind of get ahead of the curve a little bit and potentially lock this other Zamazenta active. And if depending on how easy these Zamazentas fall, can mean a lot in the game. But looks like we are going to see the second energy attachment on the Zamazenta. Professor's Research, fresh new hand of 7 cards. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure how that actually is going to play out in the long term. Let's go ahead and take a look at Gabriel's deck list. We do have the 3 Hoopa. Sable IV, of course, is down. Now we're seeing that Zamazenta V come into play. Again, it's going to be Oh wait, can the Zamazenta not actually attack here?
Oh, it needs two
It does,
metal. It needs two
yeah,
metal and a
whoops.
colorless. Well, a little bit of a misplay there from Gabe. I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world here. Hoopa still needs to. It doesn't have a way to retreat actually right now because of the way that Chaotic Swell bumped it. So we'll have to actually find one of his switching cards here in order to get there. So does find ETERNATUS VMAX here. Could also grab the Slowbro, if he chooses to. So it looks like he will go ahead and grab Slowbro here. Interested to see what the rest of the grabs here will be. Opting to maybe, I think he's just deciding really doesn't want to get rid of too many pieces here, so we'll see.
We've seen we're seeing Gabe kind of decide how they want the rest of this turn to go. It looks like Quick is just going to go ahead and find a Crobat first to start things off. Maybe you okay, we're getting the Slowbro committed to the active. It was a super big brain play, I promise, says Jake.
Yeah,
These things
yeah.
happen.
Chat, hear me out. You don't realize it's actually a big brain play for when he plays Rainbow Brush onto his special energy, guys. Just hear me out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
when he plays
They
Rainbow
don't see
Brush
it
into his
coming.
special energy, man, it's actually a secret tech in his deck that Battlefly is actually hidden from us. So yeah, but I mean, could just use those to retreat here. So I mean, while obviously getting kill on Hoopa is important, it's not the end of the world here. But it looks like there's no way for the Slowbro to actually retreat here. We'll still poison, which is nice, but I got to imagine here, right, with this hand, what do you quite do? I don't really know. Even grab anything off of Great Ball seems kind of iffy, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean you're kind of given a gift if you're Gabriel, right? You got to put some early pressure on that Zamazenta. Your opponent made a misstep. Now the Zamazenta that's built up, more or less built up, is poisoned, and you might get to attacking it. We're seeing I don't know how this will actually change the landscape of the game, but we're definitely seeing it. I didn't expect this to be the board state a couple turns ago. I'll say that much. There's 90 plus the damage from the poison, of course, on the Zamazenta. I was like, we're gonna go ahead and get a concede there out of Gabriel.
Gabe is going to go down in game one. I think he realizes he doesn't have answers to the double scam here, and this just feels like a really good matchup for Jake here. I think he might be able to just bring it home. Double scam just seems too powerful against this deck,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
with Sable IV dying so early as it did last matchup.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the Sable IV is maybe the way that you can kind of get through that, but again, with double, it's it seems really hard to. We saw Gabriel in that game struggle to get through one. I think if they played out the game, maybe we would have actually seen them get through one. So maybe the Sableye is enough, but it's gonna depend if they're not starting Sableye this turn, no early Sableye, so that's good. Hopefully it's not prized. Hopefully we have more of a game. But I got to agree with you. I do think this matchup is really good for Jake, and I think that double Zamazenta is going to be really difficult for Gabe to get through.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, this is going to come down to, he's got a lot of pieces here I don't think he wants to get rid of, right? Wants to have Dark City in play, wants to have access to Switch, wants to have access to Energy. It feels like he's just kind of struggling, like, do you even Quick Ball away your own Quick Ball here? I think he might have to just get rid of this basic Dark. He's actually going to get rid of the Hiding Dark Energy. Interesting choice there to ditch the Hiding Dark Energy over the basic Dark Energy. I'm not quite sure what the thought process is behind that, but can start getting some
Probably
down.
just the Zamazenta, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. You can get that off as well, especially if he's gonna attach this here. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. I understand this now, and he'll probably go ahead and ditch the switch, I would assume, and keep Dark City in play. So we'll see what happens though.
It looks like we are committing Dark City to the board, and then that you're kind of forced to get rid of the switch there. Here's a Crobat. So okay, I mean they're kind of awkward deciding which resources that you wanted to get rid of if you're Gabriel there, but ends up in a decent position. Double ETERNATUS V active. So I mean if Jake can successfully set up the double Zamazenta without having to commit too much else, it's going to be really difficult. But I think this game is going to come down to what's prized on both sides, and if the Zamazenta can kind of do the work. And there's the first one. There's a chaotic swell. It's a cool cool factor of these online tournaments to be able to see the players interacting with each other like this. You know, despite unless you're used to unless Sam Chen is the feature match, you usually don't see this kind of table talk in real tournaments. All right, and Jake, after looks like we saw Stellar Wish, we saw the Zamazenta, of course. The first move of the game was actually to get rid of the Dark City Chaotic Swell. That's pretty strong. And we just see the Zacian and Intrepid Sword there.
Yeah, I mean, he has the ability, right, to go ahead and even boss here, but I think he'll just go ahead and take the turn. He could... You're going to lose the Dangerous Drill early, though. That definitely feels bad here. It means one less ability to get rid of a tool card on the field. It's gotta suck here to top deck that. It's like one of those cards, like, where I'm like, oh, I'm going to research away a boss, it's fine, and then I top deck another boss for my turn, and I'm like, oh, alright, that's...
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, suddenly this isn't fine.
Yeah, I mean, killing Jirachi here is actually pretty relevant. It forces the LUCMETAL to not come down in this matchup here, like it would normally be able to, especially with Scam. So it's very nice to see that come down. He's going to actually have to research away these two pieces here. Siva has found enough Pokemon to at least kill the Jirachi here for sure, and can get rid of some pieces like the Scoop Up Nets if he wants to, can get rid of another Turnus, it looks like. And prioritizing getting down. I like this a lot. He's going to prioritize getting down Zigzagoon damage on the Zamazenta right now while he can. Has the Zigzagoon, has the Scoop Up Net. That will put 2 damage counters on there, and while it doesn't seem like a lot, Sable IV is going to make that pay.
Absolutely. This is the sort of thing where sometimes you don't always want to, you know, in a traditional sense, sometimes you don't always want to have to commit those damage counters first. But of course, in this matchup, you really need to. You want to go through those resources as quickly as possible. You want to put the damage counters on while you still can, and of course, it is fueling that Sableye, as you said, which it seems like most players agree. Sableye kind of is the key to breaking through these Zamazentas. It'll be interesting to see, you know, if Jake sets up the same way based on the fact that Sableye didn't get knocked out, or you know, if Sableye can carry through the 2 Zamazentas, or if Jake's gonna actually take this game down. But we'll see. We still got a lot of Pokemon to play. A lot of plays to make on both sides of the board, as we see a Marnie after a Zacian becomes active out of Jake.
Yeah, not the worst hands here off of that Marnie. Has energy, has Crobat, has Beacom to find more Mons here. This has got to feel alright here if you're Gabe, especially if the Zacian just stays active. Well, it's going to be able to take a Brave Blade here, so that's not bad, but, I mean, you're going to most likely get a return kill, so that's definitely not bad. Another energy here. I don't know if you like to see that, but, has a decision here if he wants to Crobat for 3 or Crobat for 4, can just be calm and refine the Crobat if he chooses to here. I honestly think just Crobating for 3 is better, but he's going to go ahead and peek on the Crobat. I assume he'll just go ahead and grab Crobat back here and draw an extra card, but...
I actually like Crobating for 3 there, too, because I think you want the... want the communication... to build up more Pokemon as you go on. But an extra card is one that I'm very familiar with, so I can't fault Gabriel too much for that. And there's another Scoop Up Net, again, getting these Headbutt Tantrums in where they can. Here's the Professor's Research, so...
And wow, even more Zigzagoons here, yeah. He's going to get tons of damage, I think, on this Zamazenta. One thing to note, though, Jake is playing Malana, so you got to be a little careful here when it comes to that. And can't play Dark City. I don't really think... Oh, he's going to lose all of his Dark City here, actually. So yeah, no more Dark City in play because of the double swell.
Yeah, no way to really to get around that. Just Swell takes care of that unfortunate turn of events for Gabriel. And now we're just kind of lining up what Pokemon we need to play, where we drop them. Looks like Gabriel might be hesitant to drop this last Zigzagoon, but ends up doing it. That's 50 Headbutt Tantrum damage on the Zamazenta. Here's a Dread End. That's a knockout. 4 prizes remaining for Gabriel Smart. Or 3 prizes, rather. 2 prizes taken for Gabriel Smart there. His Zamazenta is going active. We knew the Marnie was coming off the top from the Mewtwo, but no energy on the Zamazenta, just kind of playing as a... we see 1 now.
Yeah, this hand is not great here. Top deck's the Hiding Dark, though, so if he needs to, he can pay the retreat, right, for free with the Hiding Energy. And there's a Sableye off of that here. Could also go ahead and grab himself some other cards. Sableye does seem pretty good here, though, but The unfortunate thing about this hand is there's no real way to retreat, right? He's got to pay an energy to retreat. I don't think that's bad, though. Can go and hit with Hoopa here, deal some more damage, and it looks like that is going to be the play he goes for here. So I don't know about scoop up netting right now. I think just going in and hiding is better, especially because Mal and Lana can definitely come out next turn is kind of my thought process.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think really what you're thinking about now is just how can I not play into Mallow and Lana, because you would hate to just have your whole turn undone by Mallow and Lana. But yeah, it looks like we're just seeing a Sable IV attach, and that we're debating. Gabriel's just debating these scoop up nets, been debating them all turn, but I imagine we'll just end up with a pass here.
Yeah, he's going to pass, prioritizing getting that Sableye down, and if Jake wants to take care of that, now is the time. He's got to allow that here. Yeah, it looks like Jake kind of acknowledging as well. There's not really a lot of win cons with how he's been drawing.
Who are you again? Yeah, so there's the Mallow and Lana, so I think Gabriel is happy that just go all in and switch just right back to the Zamazenta.
Yeah, and with this here, has the Marnie, but I don't think he wants to Marnie his opponent here. I think he's just going to probably be content with swinging here with Hoopa, I assume. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see the Zigzagoon ping down on that active. And we'll probably just see him commit the hiding energy. I don't really think there's any reason to Marnie here. Or he could go and dig for this. I don't really think it's worth it though. I think just going to Hoopa just seems better to me. I don't know though. Like there's kind of merit to both plays here. But it just seems he's got a Marnie here. And he whiffs the switch. You just gave him a fresh hand of 5 or 4.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that play. I think just being more conservative is definitely better, and now you give more outs, and now Jake has time to set up, get stuff down, and it's not looking great now. I don't know if I, Yeah, and there's a research just going to get rid of some pieces, though, but at this point, having cards here is better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's I still don't know exactly the path to victory for Jake here, but I think if you're Gabriel, my inclination would have been to go in with the Hoopa, start putting some pressure on the Zamazenta and get close to winning this game. I think you can afford. I think you're ahead enough on board and on cards to be able to afford to not have to deal with. Not have to push her, not have to worry about things like switching and doing a little bit more damage with Sableye. I don't think that kind of play is worth it.
Yeah, and we see the scoop up net here. He's going to get that back. And you know what they say, bro. 2 scammers are better than 1.
Yeah, it looks like we're fully scammed here. Double scam on the board. No other Pokemon need to come down, and now it's kind of up to Gabriel to work their way through, which they can do. I mean, the Sable IV is big. The Hoopa is big.
Yeah, and just find the switch though. That's huge. Finds the switch. Can start going in and swinging with Sableye if he wants. I have to take a look at Jake's discard pile. I definitely think you look before you're switching. I don't think it's a bad deal to switch here, right? Because he can go ahead and retreat if he wants to here. But he's going to go ahead and Crazy Claws here. 130 damage. It's going to be on Jake. This is a big turn here. If Jake can find a way to attack with that yeah, expressing some pain here. But if Jake can find a way to attack with that bench Zacian here, or this bench Zamazenta, this is very big. He would get rid of the horror energy. He would get rid of the hiding energy on that Sable IV and prevent it from retreating here. As well as, just in general, this is going to be a very good spot. But if not, Sableye will take the prizes on here, and Hoopa can come in next turn, right? Hoopa can even come in, right, and take the knockout on the Zamazenta. And just like that, it kind of sets up the math he needs to just take the win with Crazy Claws and push to game 3. But there's Mal and Lana. He's going to heal down and go into this Zamazenta. But I think if you're Gabe, you're not really that upset about that. You have boss's orders here, and that actually will take the knockout, right? Yeah. No, he actually needs a Marnie ping, right? Or he's 1 short, but I think this is still fine, right? Yeah, Crazy Claws here will do not enough here. He'll be 10 short, actually. But this will be big if Jake has the energy here to get rid of that hiding energy, and he has research. Wow.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Jake is doing everything they can. We saw them say that they didn't see a lot of outs earlier, but it looks like...
there's the Metal Saucer, too. Wow, this has got to hurt here. especially if you're gonna see the retreat and get rid of that hiding energy. And Gabe's gonna be on a 1-turn clock here to find a way to switch, and the metal goggles there
Oh,
as
the
well.
goggles. Okay, so
Wow.
no pinging
Yeah.
me today, Jake says. You're absolutely right. There's the assault tackle. That's going to be 130 damage and getting rid of that energy, very importantly. And I don't know. We're seeing the real power
He's
of
down 4 scoop up then as well. I don't know. Going in Sableye there just felt really
well,
weird,
no
right? You're
more
not
scoop
taking
up
a
nets.
knockout, and that's why I would have liked seeing some yeah, I don't know, seeing some more stuff from Gabe. He's down one of those dangerous drills, but at this point he has one more Zigzagoon in deck. So I take that back, right? Has one more Zigzagoon in deck, can maybe finish off that way with the taking the knockout there on the Zamazenta, but with this fresh Zamazenta here, he's got to find a way to get this out of the active. I don't know if he has any win cons here, so let's see.
Yeah, when in doubt, played out. A win condition has arisen. Jake is
Oh, he's
right.
gonna
There are
load search here. Wow.
okay. So we're seeing the load search for the boss's orders. This is going to allow next turn a knockout on the bench Zamazenta, but I don't think that actually works out for Gabriel, right? Like if the game plays out such a way that we see an assault tackle this turn, 4 prizes remaining for Jake, which is what we're seeing. We see the boss on the Zamazenta
Yeah,
knock
there's
it
not
out
even
with
a
the
way to switch it
Hoopa.
out though. I don't even see a way that Gabe still needs a way to pivot because the Hoopa won't just pick a knockout.
Right, yeah, and we are down all nets, right? As we said. And we're
Yeah,
down
I don't even know.
dark
He's down all
cities
of his
too.
switching outs actually. He has no switching outs left in deck.
Yeah, this huh. If he's down I think even so unless I'm wrong, even with the switching out, let's just pretend there was one. We see Gabriel go boss, knock out the Zamazenta, but then what, right? The other Zamazenta promotes, knocks out the Hoopa, and then I don't think there's really like a clean way for the game to end.
Yeah, that's why I really didn't like that Marnie there. The Marnie there might have cost him the game.
I
Forcing
I think
giving him
it
a new hand here, I think was definitely a big deal.
yeah, and then we're just forced to boss before we have a switching out here, and wow,
There's a
yeah,
switch.
just the clean switch, and I got to imagine this is just gonna spell the game. If Gabriel
Yeah.
does have another boss to do that play next turn, but if I don't think there's a really out for Gabriel there, and if Jake just has the switch power up knockout, it's even gonna put Gabriel further behind.
Yeah, we could see a very, very
Wow.
close game here. Yeah, even another boss, though. What, you boss it up, stall it, pass your turn? I think that's maybe his only play here. That doesn't even seem like a good, huge play to me, in my opinion. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't. I think I haven't studied these players' decks intensively. These players do know how to play their decks. Obviously, they've made it this far, but I think Gabriel may have made some missteps earlier in the game that have led to this situation, and now I'm not sure how I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for Gabriel to defeat the double Zamazenta here. I have no outs. No, we get the delete though. He was just typing out I have no outs. Still decides not to send it. Decides to play a little bit. We saw Jake say they had no outs. They had no win condition, and that changed. So who knows? Players can things can happen in the Pokemon trading card game. Players can make some interesting decisions, but that's not going to be just an attachment and an assault tackle. That's a knockout. That's 2 prizes for Jake, and I think Jake has really snatched victory from the jaws of defeat here. 2 prizes remaining, 2 essentially untouchable Pokemon on the board, and I think this is going to be their tournament to win.
Yeah, and just like that, Gabe is in the jaws of defeat here pretty much. Jake Gearhart is one boss's orders away from becoming your 7th Hegster Top Deck Tournament champion here. Let's see what he can do to pull this out. I'm excited to see what happens here. We will see. It is going to come down to it in just a minute here. I have my pin pinging me here, so we'll see.
Yeah, we have the congrats on the win, heart emote, thanks, heart emote. I think we're just kind of playing it
Yeah,
out for
and
fun
there's the
here. There's
boss's
the boss's
orders!
orders. All
And
right.
just like that, Jake Gearhart will become your 7th Hegster Top Deck Tournament champion.
Congratulations to Jake Gearhart. Played the LUCMETAL deck excellently in all the games, in all the matches that I watched. Already defeated this opponent with this deck, of course, in round 8 to even make the top 16. incredible performance by an incredible player with a deck that I always love to see in these type of tournaments.